All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back live at the Plaza Club downtown San Antonio on March 20th, the first day of spring. Thanks, spring, and yes, it has arrived. I have another super inspiring woman, a dear friend, but an amazing woman who, oh my gosh, enough can't be said about Marie. Marie actually is a pilot for American Airlines. Been a pilot for how many years?
Too many years, maybe about 30 years.
30 years. That's
a
lifetime right there.
Out of high school.
So how'd you get into being a pilot? What happened? What was the backstory?
Well, I really like to travel. But before that, I liked to travel because my dad liked to travel. And we had a family of 7 kids. Seven kids and not a lot of money. But my dad liked to travel, but since we didn't have the money, we were always watching National Geographic, buying the National Geographic magazines, kind of plotting where we were going to go. And so I read all the magazines, all the articles. It was my favorite thing every month. And I said, I'm going to go to this place and this place and this place. And pretty soon, I just had a bunch of places I wanted to go to. So I thought at that time in high school, being a flight attendant was real glamorous and sexy, and you got to travel and have fun. And actually, I took my first plane ride when I was a junior in high school.
Wow.
Because we had 7 kids and not a lot of money. And so I took my first plane ride, and I actually saw that the flight attendants are back there for safety, and they like to work with the people, but I set my sights on flying the plane and being in the front because it's the best office there is and the best view available, and I just thought it would be very cool to be a pilot.
Very cool. So you've been a pilot through, even 9/11, American Airlines.
Yep. Yeah. Luckily for me, I wasn't working on 9/11. But I actually was living in Oklahoma. I was I was working for American Airlines, living up in Oklahoma, working with the Oklahoma Air National Guard. And I woke up and turned on the TV, and I thought I was watching a movie. I didn't really know that it was really going on. And as soon as I turned up the volume and saw that it was real, it hit me. And I called my friends who were supposed to be flying that route to make sure they weren't flying that route. So. It was pretty traumatic for everybody.
I can imagine. So wow, you really weathered the storm for American. And so you've been with American for how many years?
Going on 15 years.
And before it was a military background.
Yeah, but before American, I worked for the FAA, and I was working for the Dallas Flight Standards District Office. I was actually checking American Airlines pilots, and they stole me away, and so now I'm working with American. Before that, I had spent 12 and a half years active duty Navy. Then I went to the Navy Reserve. I kind of hopped services. Then I went over to the Air National Guard. From the Air National Guard, I went over to the Air Force Reserve, doing mostly flying and all those jobs. But I finally retired as an Air Force Academy liaison officer, where I was helping and mentoring high school kids getting into the Air Force Academy, Naval Academy, Coast Guard Academy, mentoring kids. That's what I like to do.
Mentoring kids. Oh, so that's the passion of your heart. That's what inspires you.
Yeah, I really like to mentor kids and let people know that there are alternatives. And one reason is when I was in high school, there weren't a lot of alternatives, and there weren't a lot of people that were knowledgeable in what's out there and how to get out of the normal, corporate ladder. What other things we can do? What other things are available? Even if they're not. You have to change your paradigm. A lot of us are stereotyped. And as a matter of fact, even today, flying from Dallas to San Antonio,
She flew the Concorde, by the way.
I was riding in the jump seat, a cockpit of a MD-80, but the gate agent gave me a flight attendant ticket to ride in the flight attendant jump seat, even with my uniform on, so it still happens.
As a pilot. Really? Wow. So you didn't get the preferential pilot treatment?
Well, I still got to sit up in the front on my way here. So it was all good.
Too funny. So a typical flight for you, you have a certain route. The LaGuardia area, I know you're in and out of.
One reason I joined American Airlines over other airlines is because they really have a lot of variety. Some airlines just go up and down the East Coast, up and down the West Coast, or back and forth in Hawaii. But with American, the reason I joined them is because we can decide if we wanted to fly to Europe. You can decide if you want to fly to the Orient. You can decide if maybe you prefer to go down to South America, Central America, the Caribbean. So it's a lot of variation, a lot of options, a lot of places to go. And if you get bored with one area, you can just pick another airplane, get trained on that airplane, and then go and visit another part of the world.
That's so exciting. Mm-hmm. Such a fun industry. And you can imagine there's a lot of glamour associated with it. To be a pilot or to be a flight attendant, I know a lot of people who've aspired to go into that industry, but the whole up and down. I mean, you definitely have to have a thick intestinal lining to handle that.
Well, some people do, but I think it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think to go. I mean, I know I've talked to you all the time, and you're in California. You're jet setting off to somewhere so and it's a very fun lifestyle. I see your. Let me do a shameless Facebook plug here. I see Marie's pictures from the office. Marie's over some great location, whether it's nationally or internationally. It's always fun to spy on you.
Well, people really like to know what I'm doing, where I'm going, because some people kind of live through my photographs, and I love to do photography. So I might be in Vancouver, and I'll be up on, taking some nice shots of Vancouver. The next day I'll be in New York City. Lots of snow in New York City. Take a nice shot from New York City. So wherever I go, people just they like to see this, and a lot of people need to know that it's available for them. I'd like to inspire kids, inspire teenagers, even adults to get out of their comfort zone and really have fun.
Like Mark Cuban, one of my favorite male entrepreneur role models. They want Italian food. They hop on their private jet and go to Italy for the night.
I've done that too. I've gone actually to Boston for lobster.
Really? Oh my goodness, how fun! So tell our viewers and tell me a little bit about the entrepreneurial side. I mean, obviously you picked an industry that you wanted and you kind of created that. You manifested it, as I like to call it. Think and Grow Rich. She thought it and it came into fruition for her. But now, what does Marie want the next 5 years of her life to look like? The next 10 years?
Well, I've always dabbled in different things kind of on my off time because, we do have a few days off a month. So I always wanted to keep busy and do other things. I have lots of other interests. So I've done real estate. I've done insurance when I was real young. But the thing is, what I found with a lot of these other entrepreneurial efforts is that I'm really tied to one certain area. I can't travel. I can't grow a business wherever I go. So
even though you're in the travel industry, which is
so it ties me down.
Irony.
So finally, I'm looking around for something that I can do while I travel, and I can have fun while I'm doing it. And wherever I go on my American Airlines layovers, I can start a business, talk to people. And so I've been looking around. I found something, and I'm hoping to grow it really big in the next 5 years. It's a new company, and I'm really excited about it. The company's fantastic.
Sure, and it's in the network marketing space, right?
Yeah, it's a hybrid network marketing direct sales.
Awesome.
And it's a skincare company.
And so we were talking about this before, that whole Robert Kiyosaki. Actually, it's funny. I was on a flight. I think I was 21 at the time. I was on a flight being from Michigan. I get on the plane and I've got my Robert Kiyosaki book, my purple book. And I look over at the gentleman next to me, and he's got the same purple book, but it's in Japanese. Robert, and I said, that's the same book, Robert Kiyosaki. And so Robert Kiyosaki, The Multiple Streams of Income, has been something that from a young age, I say my parents named me Rachel Renee because of the whole recurring revenue concept. So tell us a little bit about what that means to you, and how I like how you kind of segued into it's something that you can do when you're in California, or whether you're in Boston or you're international.
Well, as we all know, the big money is in residual income. I mean, for me, flying is my passion. I'll never stop flying, but at least maybe I can fly less and enjoy my time more. That's my big thing.
Yeah.
So with residual income, I mean, that's what he talks about, the 4 quadrants. He talks about the E and the S and the B and the I, and all that stands for different things. But we ultimately want to be investors and business. And the best thing you can do, and as Robert Kiyosaki says, the best thing you can do for yourself is grow a business with residual income.
Sure.
Because you can go out, and even if you take a couple days off, you take a week off, you go on vacation, you still have income coming in. Mm-hmm. Now, I know it's not easy. It just takes some time, but usually in 3 to 5 years, you can have the retirement lifestyle you've always wanted. And right now I have a pretty good lifestyle, but I'm going to make it even better.
I know. I always marvel at you because I see you doing your business, and your business is on your phone.
Yeah. Well, I do all my business, which is my iPad and my iPhone. That's it. And luckily, the business I'm in, I can do that. I don't carry any products around with me. It's all about talking to people, social networking, e-commerce, and that's what you need to do, is find something that fits with what your life is. It's all part of integrating a part-time job or even a full-time additional income into your life.
Sure. And your hobby, you play with guns for your hobby, don't you?
Well, being prior military, I'm pretty good with a pistol.
Look out.
And maybe a shotgun. But yes, my husband and I, we actually teach small arms firearm training. He's an NRA instructor. We have National Rifle Association.
NRA, that's what I thought you said.
National Rifle Association instructor, and it's all about education. And it's not just about teaching people how to shoot; it's teaching them education about what these weapons do, how to be safe, how to clear it, and make sure how to keep it safe away from your kids. So it's more about education and that you feel safe and you're not scared of it. And then you can decide at that point if you're interested in maybe getting your conceal and carry. And from then we also consult you on what would be the best for your lifestyle if that's what you wanted to do. But it's all around safety.
Sure. Well, for all of you viewers out there, Marie is actually our keynote speaker tonight, who actually flew in from Florida. So if you were here at our event, you'd get to see Marie in person, get an autograph from such an inspiring, enigmatic entrepreneur woman, such a dynamic force. I think it's so amazing, all this stuff, all the different.
And the best thing is that you got to have fun. So no matter what we're doing, we're always having fun.
Always having fun. Always. That's why you're a great friend and such an inspiration to me and so many people. Because at the end of the day, I know there's always that smile on your face, and you can rest your head at night saying, you know what, mission accomplished. I impacted people's lives, and you made yourself. You paid the bills. You put some bread on the table, and everybody's world is a little bit better.
And we're able to help other people out. The big thing is being generous and paying it forward.
Pay it forward. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Miss Marie. As you can see, again, just some more amazing women coming out of the Miss Entrepreneur Role Model Search. These are the kind of women that we want to recognize. We want to develop role models for our future entrepreneurs. Women these days, children these days, they need examples. They need this sort of personification of what it's like to be a strong woman, to what it's like to be a wife, what it's like to be, a pilot. Whatever you want to do, whatever your dream is, you can create that. And these are the kind of examples that tell that story of how to do it, grassroots, start to finish. You have to find what you want to do, find what you're passionate about, and it's out there. You can make it happen, and that's what Miss Entrepreneur is about, is helping you make those dreams a reality. So we'll be back on our next interview coming up, and then we're going to be looking forward to having Marie speak. So stay tuned.
Bye.